Good evening, Yash. I think people are still joining. You just came for the first time here, right?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes.
And
Yes,
and uh,
I
and
came here for first time.
first time and anything that is interesting that is pulling you to AI. I mean, anything that you're doing in your you know
Yes.
uh, corporate world or those kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. So actually, like I have graduated, post-graduated from IIT Bombay, MTech at IIT Bombay this year only in the month
Okay.
of June, and
Mm-hmm.
I have started up Gruha AI. So where we are providing construction and building materials to the construction stakeholders, buyers such as builders, developers, contractors, home renovators. Yes, sir. So, and I'm also figuring out like how I can help out my buyers with the
Mm-hmm.
help of AI tools and AI agents.
And this is for B2B use case, right?
Yes, sir. B2B use case. Yes, sir.
And which locality or which city are you doing this?
Yes. So currently, my hometown is Nasik, near
Mm.
Mumbai, and
Okay.
I'm operating from here only right now. Yes, but I have plans to expand to Maharashtra and in the medium term to India.
Mm-hmm. And these off business and these kind of guys are your competitors?
Sir, off business is serving to government projects or big buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's suppose say in my construction sector like Lodha or some Adani Realty, they
Mm-hmm.
are serving to these large players. Okay, but
Okay.
the main pain point of the like the builders developers, which serves to the medium to low like who are building for medium and low income groups of population like row
Mm-hmm.
houses or 3 or 4 story of buildings apartments. So
Got
basically
it.
they the major pain point of the builders and developers are like they don't get the required materials on time and the faster deliveries of it. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
need to search for it, they need to roam here and there, they need to call into the network key.
And AI will help in this how? I mean, is there any particular idea that you have?
Like currently, like my intention is, yes, I want to solve the problems of my builders and developers for
Mm-hmm.
starting from the conventional route. Okay, just
Mm-hmm.
infusing some technology in it, like by doing some
Got it.
semi-assisted business transactions. But yes, in the near term, I want to infuse AI somehow to them. And right
Okay. Okay.
now, the way I am seeing here is providing them an AI assistant using AI agents
Mm.
which would give them insights and information about the AI, what are the construction
Got
industries
it.
and
Got it. More
like
like a Q&A kind of stuff. Like
yes,
what?
sir, yes, sir. Right now, yes,
Got it. Got it.
but yes, the things will evolve in the future. That is sure.
No, definitely, definitely it will. It
Yes,
will.
sir.
Nikhil, you have also joined today first time, right? This AI hour. I think which you know you are looking at in AI from your I don't know company perspective or wherever you are. Nikhil, if you're speaking, we're not able to hear. I think Nikhil probably is stable right now. So yeah, so I think Abhishek and uh, Venus and Himanshu, we have been doing this for quite some time now. So today's agenda was around understanding the attention is all you need. Uh, paper and anything that you guys did a research on that. Anything before I start? Anything you want to add or start with? Okay. So what I will do is uh, first, so few resources I actually was looking at for the paper. Attention is all you need. One sec. And one of the interesting blog that I came across, hopefully my screen is still visible, is basically actually this one. It's actually a very interesting blog written in 2019. but simplifies it in a very simple way. What the model is, how it works, kind of stuff. And there's also a YouTube video which basically talks about the same stuff and explains it very beautifully. Uh, uh, Before I get to the paper, Yash and Nikhil, are you aware of this paper? Attention is all you need, written by 8 Google employees in
N-
2017.
no, sir. No, sir.
Okay, basically it was a landmark paper which created the the transformer model of LLM which today is used. Very famously it is used in OpenAI, GPT, LLM. Also Gemini uses it, and Llama, and almost all the models, transformer based models that you see, LLMs that you see, this are actually based on this paper. So it's fundamental paper. It is the paper actually is this. Sorry, not this one. Where is the paper? Paper is here, and it's basically written by 8 Google employee. Actually, none of these are now with Google, interestingly. But it talks about encoder decoder architecture and attention as a mechanism to basically generate the output, and multi-head attention, lot of stuff, positional encoding and those kind of stuff. So it's something that we thought we will cover in this today's session, and try to understand what this paper is talking about, and in the process basically also understand uh, you know uh, how LLMs work. And once we understand how LLM works, can we think of better prompts, can we think of better use cases, at least helps us understand what is happening behind the scene. So that's why we thought we'll look into it now. Fundamentally, last time when we discussed, right, any word and sentence we can actually create a vector, right? And that vector has is a numerical number. So a word like let's say a red shoe, a sentence like a red shoe. The red and shoe can be vectorized independently, and red shoe can be as a sentence can be vectorized, right? And why we create vectors is because machines don't understand words, right? So they have to compute, they have to do all that logic using numbers. So is they're great when you give them something where the numbers are involved kind of stuff, right? So what happens is that every word, every sentence is vectorized. And now what happens is, let's take a simple example, right? uh, I will take maybe the whiteboard here. Or maybe I just whiteboard. So let's to look at a simple sentence called, let's say, the this restaurant is and this example that one of the videos they had is that this restaurant is not terrible, right? It's not too terrible, right? Now the terrible actually is related to the restaurant, and that relation, the terrible is related to restaurant, is very intuitive for human to understand. Okay, this actually, the terrible here means restaurant kind of stuff, right? But for machines to understand that that if you're writing the sentence, this restaurant is not too terrible, is difficult for them to associate what a terrible actually is related to kind of stuff, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is there's a negation here. right? So restaurant is not terrible. It also not terrible. It is not too terrible, right? So first thing is there's an inversion happening, right? That it is not terrible, right? So there's a invert happening, and then there's a moderation happening, which basically saying is not too terrible kind of stuff. Now, all these things for a machine to understand from a language point of view is not a simple thing. And then tell as an answer, if you ask whether the restaurant is terrible or not, and for and whether I should go to the restaurant, right? If you ask that LLM whether I should go to this restaurant, the LLM has to understand that it actually it is okay to go, but it's not like the one of the best restaurants, right? So if there are like three or four restaurants, and this restaurant is not too terrible, but others are terrible, you'll say, okay, you can go to this restaurant, which is the first restaurant, not the second restaurant, right? So so these kind of relations is something which sounds so easy for humans to understand. It is difficult for machines to understand kind of stuff. So previously, before before transformers were there, uh, the whole machine learning and all those things were still there, and neural networks were also there, right? All these are based on neural networks. There were primarily two models which were being used. One was RNN, one was CNN. So RNN is recurrent neural networks and CNN is convolutional neural networks kind of stuff, right? But RNN, what was happening was that the speed was a big issue because everything was serialized, right? So if you take these sentence, right, and that machine has to understand the relationships. First, this will go into the model, then the whatever the learning of the this will go into the next, let's say block where restaurant is there, and then restaurant will take the previous information of this, and then create some vectors, and then this restaurant is not is will be there. So it basically goes into a very sequential way. So RNNs were not able to scale, and also they had limits on how much they could remember. So if the sentence were very, very long, they would not be able to remember kind of stuff, right? So RNN had that major issue, and therefore you could not get answers very quickly. You would get very bad answers or hallucinations, which what they call, if the sentences are very long kind of stuff. CNN had were better in terms of speed, uh, but they had finite memory, so their context window was even lesser kind of stuff. Right? Now, when the transformers came, one of the biggest changes was that the context window could actually become infinite. They can actually become. Of course, it will take the compute power is still a limitation, but for example, Gemini in their latest model, I think this is 1.5 Gemini, the context window is 2 million tokens. Like you literally can take the whole video of YouTube, 1 hour video, and put that into the prompt kind of stuff, right? And get the summary of the video kind of stuff, right? Because it can take 2 MB of tokens as you know the context window. That's right. Now compare that to 3.5 GPT 3.5, which came last year. The context window was around 8 8 KB kind of stuff. And then it I think it has now become I don't think GPT 4.0 and others they have disclosed what the context window is, but it is at least 64 KB or 128 KB kind of stuff, right? So that kind of context window would not have been possible, unless the transformer model was there. And what transformer model is basically doing is it has a concept called self attention, right? primarily what self attention does is that it, and this example that people have given is that, let's say you are sitting in a room where a lot of people are talking, and each of the person is talking to someone, and there are multiple conversations happening, right? And what if you could focus on what is important in each of these conversations and really put attention to that, and then gather everything as a, as that these are the things which actually these people are talking, kind of stuff, right? So in a similar concept, what attention is self attention is primarily what is doing is it is looking at each token or each word in the sentence and checking how is it related to all other words in the same sentence, right? How much is the relation? And similar to the concept of vector embedding search that we were discussing yesterday, right? When we are searching for Maggie, the noodle, something, it was matching to noodle. Also, it was matching to, let's say, chow mein, but it would be very far from the shoes vector, kind of stuff, right? So similarly, here what is happening is that, and we said that the distance vector can be a dot product kind of stuff, right? So cosine and dot product and those kind of stuff. Essentially, the same thing is happening here, where if you look at this formula, which is fundamentally the formula which is used in transformer, is there's a input x, which is basically x1, x2, x3, which is in the example of this restaurant is not too terrible. The x1 is this, x2 is restaurant, x3 is, x4 is not, kind of stuff, right? So those are the input. The weights are primarily the dot product of each and every word against each other, kind of stuff, right? So basically you can say that how is each word is related to the other word in the sentence, the dot product of that, the relevance of each of the word against each other is captured in the wij kind of stuff. And when you multiply these two with the these basically dot product are acting as a weight, the y1 and y2 and y3, which may be the output tokens, right? uh, uh, Fundamentally have information and relation of each of these tokens, kind of stuff. I don't know if you are able to follow what I'm saying. uh, any questions from anyone? I don't want to lose uh, the the flow here. It's a bit complicated, but I think fundamentally what is happening is, because you are looking at each word against the other words in the sentence and capturing the relevancy, and then basically creating a knowledge and then giving it as output, is fundamentally what this block is doing. And the good part is that then you can stack multiple of these blocks, and these are called sequence to sequence blocks in transformer. Basically, sequence is going in, sequence is coming out, and then you can stack one block output going into as an input to another block, and similarly stuff, right? So basically you can literally get more and more data and more knowledge as you go through the stack. And then this architecture also has an encoder decoder architecture. So what you are basically building here is sort of encoded knowledge, and then you take this encoded knowledge and give it to a decoder, who then uses this knowledge to create an output, which is the answer to your query, kind of stuff, right? So if you asked, this restaurant is not too terrible, is this restaurant worth going, then the output would be coming from the decoder, kind of stuff, right? And LLM is always predicting the next token. That's basically is fundamentally thing that you should always keep in mind, that it doesn't know the answer. It always predicting what to say, as a next word, and up and once it's printed the next word, and again the next word and the next word kind of stuff. And therefore, if you type anything on ChatGPT, you'll find that it is typing, and not throwing the search results or anything, query answer immediately kind of stuff. Any questions from anyone? Were able to follow at least some part of this? Okay. I think so. Fundamentally, I'll share these links in the WhatsApp group. But it is interesting if you read from that perspective. A, that transformers are great from a speed perspective. B, transformers have infinite context window. C, that transformers are based on self attention, which basically is looking at each word, is looking at other words and saying how am I related to the other words in the sentence kind of stuff. So that's fundamentally the self attention. It basically uh, you know uh, can be used on in multiple applications kind of stuff, right? So sentiment analysis is a very simple application that can be built out of this. I'll share these resources so that you can go through these. And once you go through these, we can again do more discussions on this one. Other thing which I wanted to cover in this session is some tools. So first is, I was actually showing yesterday uh, the Synthesia one, right? Now, Synthesia, sorry, not this one. Uh, it's open here. I think it's the last one. So, it's open here. So Synthesia is actually very great for building your sales videos. And we actually created a simple sales video for one of our product. It took like not more than 1 hour, to verifying. It took less than that. But it just was very interesting that we could create something, which would have taken at least, a couple of weeks for any agency to build. We were able to build a sales video within like 1 hour. And not only you can build using this any sales video kind of stuff. And the good part is with the synthesis you actually get an avatar, right? So these kind of avatars, they actually speak your script. And as if they are actual humans who are speaking kind of stuff, right? And you can have, let's say two avatars also speaking, and multiple avatars who can speak in the same video kind of stuff. You can also create your product explainer if you have a digital product, a SaaS product, or those kind of stuff. And if you want to uh, you know just want to create an explainer video where you explain how your product is working kind of stuff. This actually works very well. And the way to build it is that you sign up on Synthesia. I'll share the link of Synthesia. And then you say I want to create uh, uh, with AI. You can do that. And you just quickly create with AI. Right. Anything that you guys want to create quickly, some kind of video, or if you have any PDF or text, or PowerPoint. If you want to share, I can quickly create it here. I can create using a file. I can create using a web link. I can give a web link and then it will create. Or I can also create using. Let me just create from Plotch.ai website. Example. Let's see what it does. Are you guys? I'm not hearing anything. So are you guys following what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to make sure that
Yes,
yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah. So basically, I've just given like Plotch.ai link, and let's see what it can create. Right? I would expect it to create like sort of a video about Plotch.ai, talking about what we offer, kind of stuff, right? Uh, and usually it creates eight scenes or eight slides, uh, but you can also add, right? Right. So it has basically said, "Welcome to our video." I can go to the editor. I'll continue editor. It has created all the scenes with all the script automatically. I don't have to do anything. It's also taken I think, see, it has taken Plaza Tire revolutionizing ONDC enablement. Right? It is just taken uh, it automatically. And I don't know if you will be able to hear what she's saying, but I can look at the preview. Are you guys able to hear what she's saying?
No.
Probably not. Probably
Mm.
not. Maybe so. What I just wanted to show you is that how quickly I could create a sales video with actual person speaking about the product. The script is there. The whole video is created, without me doing anything and stuff. Of course, I can change it. I can change the logo. I can change the script here. I can say what I want to, you know, what I want the lady to speak. I can change the logo. I can, for example, I can just replace the image with, uh, let's say my library. If I have something in the library, let's say I put it with the Zoom. I can just, and now I have Zoom here. I could, of course, I could have changed it. Actually, I think Plotch logo is there. So basically, it is a logo library with where you can actually put all the logos of a company. And you can also change your avatar, right? So you can also create a personal avatar. So you can record and create your own avatar kind of stuff. Also, you can use any of the other avatars. I can say that I want this avatar, or I can choose any of these. So, so we're able to see how quickly, using this, I can create a sales video. I don't know, any of you have a use case of sales video in your organization, but you can do that. For example, this actually was created by us before. Unfortunately, I think the audio will not be audible. So that's one thing that I thought I'll show here. Second one is, I had shared this yesterday also, and this flux1.ai. This what I realized is actually great for image generation. If you, let's say, do I have credits here? I don't have credits here, but you can sign up to flux1.ai and you basically say that, for example, I want to create a black forest clay with flux1.pro return, right? It has created a cake with pro return. In fact, this was created using this. It took me like 30 seconds to create the image like this. Right? I just said that I want Plotch.ai AI hour with people uh, uh, from multiple gender and everything. So I was able to do that kind of stuff. So this is actually something, and it has a lot of other tools which you can look at. Of course, the paid after you get 10 credits if you sign up. After that, it's a paid tool. So that's one thing. Synthesia is also by the way paid. So you will have to buy it for. So this is for image. This is for videos. We also use. And we actually evaluating one thing which I want to showcase is this chat GPT with canvas which got released. This actually is a great uh, tool, for example, for writing code. You can actually write very interesting code. Uh, does anyone want to write any complicated code? If you want to, I can type it here. Let's say create uh, app for let's say in React for B2B use case for buying and selling building material. So you can see that it has created a React code, right? I can also ask, can you also create API using Flask? So it has also created for the same app, it also created APIs to basically handle. I can also say, can you integrate this these APIs with MySQL? So then it has written a MySQL code. Right? Also add caching using Redis. So now it will cache, right? It is caching also using Redis, right? It is saving in the basically it's just a product, so it's a get select star from products. Also it is caching the products kind of stuff. Also can you index in Elastic? The good part is actually importing the required libraries, Redis, JSON, Elasticsearch. It is creating all, you don't have to, of course, the local host has to point it to a correct Redis and stuff. But where is the Elasticsearch? Highlight Elasticsearch. So I can do a code review. Uh, eh, I can add comments, I can add logs, I can fix bugs, I can export to a language. I can do a code review also, kind of stuff, right? It's very interesting with this release of ChatGPT 4.0 with Canvas. They actually released it a week back. They fundamentally changed how you want to write code, and get very interesting code. Actually, I was able to get code, for example, write code for inserting a product in Shopify using GraphQL. Right? So it was able to write a Shopify, using GraphQL query of Shopify APIs, something very quickly kind of stuff. For me to do research and find all this, it would have taken some time. Just, just now it takes 30 seconds. Fundamentally, coding, the way we are coding and how fast we are coding is getting changed a lot. Uh, and today I see that 80% of our coders in our company use some kind of chat GPT or other tools to write and debug and find answers, and optimize, kind of stuff. So you can also say optimize this query. So you can MySQL query, if you want to optimize, you can you can write here and say that optimize this MySQL query, or what is the bug in this code. You can also ask that, right? So you can, let's say try catch exception is not there. So it will also say, it can also suggest that a catch exception is missing. Try catch is missing, kind of stuff, right? So this is something what I want to show. Other interesting stuff is you can actually use this to write interesting articles. So I can say that, write a blog on this topic. Let's say the impact of AI in on jobs. That's it. Right. So it will write a very interesting, you know, article on its own. As you can see, it's typing, right? So basically, it's again the LLM feature. It's predicting the next word. It doesn't know the answer. It's just predicting, and the best outcome comes. Right. And then I have here, I can say that what kind of reading level that I want. Do you want this to be for graduate school, or do I want it for kindergarten, right? If I say I want it for kindergarten, then uh, this basically, uh, this this basically will change. Sec. So it's generating now. So the text and everything will change depending on what reading level that you want, right? And you can also say that I want this to be expanded or contracted, right? I can say adjust the length, which means that I can say that make it shorter, kind of stuff. And then it will make it shorter. So it's a little slow for some reason. I don't know why. Uh, but it would make it shorter and longer depending on what you want. Right? So it's a great tool if you want to write content. It's great tool if you want to write you know code. You can also create resumes. You can create cover letters. A lot of stuff that you can do using ChatGPT with Canvas, which actually is interesting. There are of course other models here, GPT-4 or one preview others, but this is something that just launched, which is for writing and code fundamentally. Any other question from before I move to the next tool?
So just one, Manoj. I've used Claude they also have a similar kind of a coding with artifacts. So
Yes.
how would you rate for using, let's say, if I'm building some application, similar, let's say, React application, what do you see more efficient as of today, using Claude or GPT-4o with Canvas?
So I mean, a lot of people have different point of views. My our team has actually using more of this with Canvas right
Okay.
now. Uh, I mean, a lot of people are saying that with Canvas, OpenAI has effectively killed Claude.
Hmm.
And a lot of people will move for coding to even like GitHub Copilot and everything. A lot of people just move to this one, OpenAI with ChatGPT with Canvas kind of stuff.
Got it.
Well, let's see. I mean, I we have, for example, just yesterday, we built a Shopify connector for
Hmm.
products, and the code was basically we fetched it from here.
Got it. Understood.
Right? It would have taken at least the developer to find out everything, do like couple of days. It just took like 30 minutes for him to code. So there's a drastic reduction in how fast you can code.
Hmm.
So I mean, you can assume that 2 years or 3 years from now, people will not be writing code. Like we don't write letters anymore. Uh, Everything we type now in Gmail also, everything is auto corrected, everything is auto filled. So similarly, coding will get to that level very quickly.
Hmm.
So that's so coding, image generation, sales video. These are something we actively use in our uh, company. We are also, of course, ChatGPT in general is used for any other stuff and stuff. But there are a lot of other tools which are coming up. Uh, some related to music, how you create music. Some related to how you create a great resume. Some on how do you, create interesting, CSVs. How do you handle large CSVs and get analytics out of, Excel sheets and Google sheets and those kind of stuff. I'm not able to get any good tool for creating slides yet. So I don't know if any of you have a tool which does a great job in creating slides.
I've tried many, but at the end of it, I just have to go back to Google Slides and create my own, because
Mm,
the output what I'm expecting is not up to the mark for the AI slides. But ultimately, uh, for a very basic thing, some
mm,
let's say uh, fundamental concept or something like that, it might be helpful to create. But for my use cases, I find it difficult to uh,
mm,
close the final PPT using some AI tool with some modifications, like in the code with Claude or with the cursor. All these
mm.
particular things are helpful, but with slides, not found something which is stably enough
Yeah,
and good.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's one thing. Even for image generation, if I use ChatGPT, right, uh, versus Flux that I was talking about, uh, fundamentally, if I ask, let's say, ChatGPT to put any text on it, let's say, I write create a picture with blue sky with Plotch.ai written with on the clouds. I was not able to get a written text very, somehow in ChatGPT. See, it missed the TCH.
Hmm.
So it has done a great job with PLOT. So it would have been actually a great picture, but it makes it C for me. And so, and I'm not able to get this. I don't know why, but if I do the same thing, in that flux one, fortunately, I've left to. I don't actually. I have run out of credits here. But if I was able to, basically I was able to get a better picture here for some
Hmm.
reason. I don't know why, what these guys use, but I've been able to get a better picture here, not here. When the text is written, regenerate. Because if you can do all these things, where oh, this time is it's better.
Hmm.
If you're able to do this right, these kind of thing to be created in Canva or
Hmm.
this would be extremely difficult. It takes a lot of time. But look how fast it's for it. I'll save this. So yeah, I think some use cases are very clear. Actually, I also wanted to show, but I've not been able to set it up. The conversational chatbot that we had built for commerce.
Hmm.
That demo I will show tomorrow, because in that one more few things I wanted to highlight, how we how we solve the problem of short queries, right? For example, if someone searches for boat, right, what should the product what product should the search, you know uh, the search generate, what should the search result be? In your view, if you search for for boat on a Indian e-commerce website, what do you think a person is searching for?
Earphones.
Yes, exactly, right. So boat in our context is not a boat as such. It's basically boat as a brand, as someone
Hmm.
who sells earphones and those kind of stuff, right? And we were able to solve that issue, uh, using some tricks, and that's those things I wanted to, because if you take that boat and if you take a semantic similarity on a vector database, it would result into things related to boat as a, something in the river kind of stuff.
But Manoj, sorry, let's say I when even when you said boat, right? I am not a big user of let's say boat headphones, so
Mm-hmm.
headphone never came to my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this might be geography or let's say demography specific. Now, if I say apple, I want to see an apple. So while an Apple phone user might be having mind in his mind that they might want to see iPhone 16 or something, but maybe some user might actually want to see the fruit. So how does let's say the AI differentiate the context in such cases? Or do we have
So
to specify both headphones or let's say Apple phones, something like this?
see, in the case of Apple, right? So Apple is an interesting thing, right? Apple, see, boat usually in an if because we are telling giving a system prompt to a chat bot that you are a Indian e-commerce search bot, right? In Indian e-commerce, the boat is it's very unlikely someone will search for boat on Amazon.com to basically buy boats. In India, usually people don't buy boats online and stuff. You may still buy in US, but not in India and stuff, right? But Apple is an interesting case study because Apple, if I'm typing Apple, how do I distinguish whether the customer is looking for Apple iPhone or Apple from a grocery? Well, I might be selling both, right? Now, the only way for me to know all this, if I know the previous context, if I give some kind of context to the query. The context can be that what my previous searches are. So I might be have been searching, let's say, phone. I have been searching Samsung, or I'm searching, let's say some kind of electronics, right? So I had some context that this person is actually searching for something electronics. So phone with the context, previous context that I have saved is something that I can use uh, to show actually Apple iPhones rather than Apple as a fruit. And that basically you can do in a conversational chatbot. Of course, if there is no history of the customer, what customer has searched, then basically it is a wild guess. That is a wild guess because you don't know what the person might be talking about.
So I just did a Google search for Apple, and I just went into images. So yeah, so I'm seeing a mix of both the fruit as well as the brand.
Hmm.
So I think is it because I don't search for either of them on a regular basis. So maybe there's no contextual history.
There is no
So
contextual history. So, but that I mean, of course, see if you're coming for the first time and searching, then you, I mean, there is no context. No one can tell what you are looking for, kind of stuff, right? But if you are searching something, if you have some search history, then some kind of intelligence can be built, which can be fed to the LLM. You don't have to do anything. You just feed the search queries, previous search queries into the LLM along with the query.
so it's like on the go kind of training for the LLM.
Not training, you're giving context.
Okay.
It's saying that the search is Apple, but the context is electronics, phones, Samsung, whatever the person has searched before.
But
It's
that
just
this will be retained in for future searches.
yeah.
The
So
context has been built.
has been built, yes. So we do store previous chat queries in a conversational chatbot. So I'll show that tomorrow, right? Just don't have enough time
But in
right
case
now.
of boat, is it something? So is it something having a RAG in between, or is it something which is purely LLM context based, or you had some?
Yeah. So basically, in the case of boat, let's say, so what we do is for very short queries, right? We have defined short queries as 2 words.
Hmm.
And 2 words usually, you can assume that the query needs more context. And let's say, Peter England is a 2 word, right? It's a 2 word brand kind of stuff. Or boat is a single word, right? What we tell the LLM is you are an e-commerce assistant, expand this query,
Hmm.
and beautifully what LLM, because because it has so much of knowledge from so much of Indian e-commerce data, that knows boat is in Indian context earphones. So it will say, it will expand the query as boat, earphones, or something like that. Make it 4 5 words. You can say that minimum 4 5 words you should have. And then you take that expanded query and then feed it into the uh, LLM, vector search, sorry,
Hmm.
because now you have boat earphones and not just boat. So with boat earphones, you will get a good search with any product name of boat, which are earphones. This is similar to I can share that paper. It's called hypothetical document expansion, HIDE. HIDE model is what it's called. Where even for queries like what is my leave policy, you basically feed it into LLM, expand it into a more like a paragraph, then create a vector and feed it into the vector search, so that the vectors have more data and stuff.
Hmm.
The downside of this is that because there is an extra LLM call, your query time will go up.
And the cost will also go up.
Yeah, cost will also go up. But your search results will be more relevant, because we saw that this as a very interesting case study in e-commerce application that we built. That a lot of people are searching for brand, category, and store name. Very rarely people are typing more than 4 5 words, very single 1 or 2 words and stuff. And you literally have to say, of if boat, you have to show the relevant product, because person expecting to see earphones. Noise is another example. NOISE is a brand like boat. I can show it to you tomorrow how noise actually produces earphones as a search result, even though noise products are not there. Because
Hmm.
noise semantically in India for LLM is related to, in e-commerce context, is related to earphones. So we'll look at that tomorrow. Anything else that you want to cover tomorrow? Anything that uh, that you want me to look at? So we'll look at conversational part, because I think that's an interesting application where we're also trying to put agentic, some kind of avatar, so you can speak to someone and talk in a very, like you are shopping in a, shop kind of stuff, face to the voice kind of stuff. Okay, I think with that we'll wrap up here. Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow.
Sure.
Thank
Thank
Manoj.
Okay, chalo, thank you, bye bye, take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.